Rabbi,
Hey, we'll be back soon.
4th of March, Gemora.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let's go. Let's go and try to figure out where we got up to in Bava Metzia. That's half the battle. Let's see. Ah, oh, Mike Mifligi. Oh yeah, that's what we were doing. Yeah. Okay, so we're up to Mike Mifligi. We started off this section of Hikr Boshe Eno Shalom when he realizes and detects that it doesn't belong to him. That's that's where the two dots are, and then we got up to we had a machlokes between Rav and Shmuel when he gives the money. So Rav said he could get back from the guy that sold it to him, and the land was taken away. He can get back what's called the most. He can get back the money, but the shevach he cannot get back. According to Shmuel, though, he can't get back even the most. And so we asked, what's the Michael and Fligi? What are they arguing about? And Rab said he looks at it as since he knows that the karka is not his, so therefore he gives the money to the one who's selling him the karka as a pikadon, meaning that he expects to be able to come and get it back one day. And according to Shmuel, he says no, he gives it as a matana. He doesn't expect to get it back. So that accounts for the fact that Shmuel says he doesn't get it back, and Rav says he does get the purchase price that he gave him back, even though he doesn't get improvements. Okay. Okay, so we got up to the Nemele. Nemele Lishu Matana. We had Nemele Lishum Pikado, now we got Nemele Lishum Matana. It's about in the middle of the page.
The name Alei, the Shum Matana. If so, let the purchaser explicitly tell the seller that the money is being given as a gift. Why does he pretend to give it as a payment? Bisefa lay milsa.
Oh, one second. Wait. The next line is Sabar. No? Oh, I'm making a mistake.
Um,
Nemele Lishum Matana. Oh, you're right.
okay.
Right. You're right. You're right. Sorry. Kasifa lo milsa.
The purchaser did not tell him because the purchaser reasoned that it would be an embarrassment for the seller to accept the gift.
Sifa lo milsa. Okay. Sifa lo milsa. No Rashis. No Rashis yet.
Vaha pligi bay Chada Zimna. But Rav and Shmuel already disagreed one time in a similar case. The Itmar, as it was said, Hamid Kadesh Es Achoso. If one betroths his sister, Rav Amar, Rav says, Ma'os Chosrin, the money must be returned. Ushmul Amar, Shmuel says, Ma'os Matana, the money is a gift.
Oh, so we had the same machlekes before in the case of Makadosh Sachoso, when he tries to make kedushin with his sister. Also, a case where the transaction doesn't work because there's no one to be Makadosh, won't work. So it's the same thing, like selling a piece of land that the seller doesn't own. It doesn't work. So, but in both of these cases, money was given. I guess there's kesef kedushin. So what happens to the kesef kedushin? So we got the same exact machlekes between Rav and Shmuel. So if so, the Gemora's question is, why do we need to hear two cases that tell us the same thing? That's repetitive and superfluous.
Rashi?
Yeah. Where is the Rashi here?
Is there a Rashi here?
There's Hikirbo, She'enu Shalo, Mos Yesh Lo, Shevach Ein Lo, Lo Makabel. I don't think we have any Rashi yet.
Rav Amar Ma'os Chosrin. Rav says the money is returned. Adam Yodea She'ein Kiddushin Tofsin Ba'achoso. Because since a man knows that an active marriage is ineffective with his sister, he clearly did not intend to give her the money for betrothal. The Gemar B'nasan L'shum Pikudon. While it presumed that he made up in his mind to give her the money as a deposit. Deposit for what?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's allowed to stay on the land and he's paying for the right to get on the land and use it. There's nothing that there is to use over here that he's giving the money for.
The Nema La L'shum Pikadon. If so, let him tell her explicitly that the money is being given as a deposit. Why does he pretend to give her money for betrothal? The Gemara answers, Savar la lo mikabla mine. He thinks she will not accept it from him as a deposit. Therefore, he offers it in the guise of an active betrothal. Ushmul Amar Ma'os Matana. Shmuel says that the money is a gift. Adam Yodea She'ein Kiddushin Tofsin Ba'achoso. Since a man knows that an act of betrothal is ineffective with his sister, he clearly did not intend to give her the money for betrothal. The Gemar V'nasan L'shum Matana. Rather, we presume that he made up his mind and gave the money to his sister as a gift. V'nema la l'shum matana. So let him tell her explicitly that the money is a gift. Why does he pretend to give her as a betrothal? V'seifa la milsa.
Milsa.
He did not tell her because he reasoned that it would be an embarrassment for her to accept a gift.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's no Rashi over here yet that oh, wait, or 1 second, maybe there is. Mos Chosrin. Mos Chosrin sounds like it's a Rashi. Hard to tell. We had those words. That was the words of Rav Amar Mos Chosrin. The next words, I don't know. I don't see them at this point anywhere. Oh, Bein L'Rav, Bein L'Shmuel is further on in the Gemora. Okay. Okay, so that long Rashi is further on. So we have this one Rashi here with 3 words. Mos Chosrin. Phil, you want to read this Rashi, Mos Chosrin?
Let me see where Mos Chosrin, the money goes back. And then it says, with this, that just says HaKadushim, right? Chosrim lo. The Kedushin goes back to him. Because it has with the sister.
Mos Chosrin. HaKedushin Chosrin lo. What does Rashi mean? What's Rashi telling us? Maybe Rashi, I don't know. I really don't know what he's telling us.
Well, it's saying the Kedushin go, he gives money back and the Kedushin's no good anymore if he's giving the money back. He gives the money back because the Kedushin can't be good. Kedushin is goes back.
Well, that's what Rav says. Rav says Mos Chosrin.
Right.
On the other hand, Shmuel said Mos Matana. So even the 2 statements are not equal. That's okay. That's what it says. My hunch is that what Rashi's just telling us, which most that is choser, which money that is, and he's just saying that most of the kedushin. But that also would, yeah, because we didn't know we were talking about what most are we talking about? So Rashi's just telling us, yeah, it's the money for the kedushin. He was makadisher with kesef, so to speak. That was the on the face of it. That was what the kedushin was all about. There's different ways to make kedushin, and that's the way that he made it. And so when Rab says most chosrin, he means to say the money that was given for the kedushin, it goes back to the makadosh, goes back to the man that made the kedushin, as opposed to Shmuel, who says that it's a matana, doesn't come back. It's a matana. Okay, that's
Both
now
are
we get to sricha in the
the itmar baha, that if the disagreement had been stated only in this case of the purchase of stolen property, biha kamar rav. I might have thought that only in this case, Rav says the money is a deposit. Below avde inshe de yahavbe matanos lenuch ra'a. For it is not customary for people to give gifts to another relative. Aval gabe achoso, but concerning the sister, Ema modeh le lishmuel. I might say Rob agrees with Shmuel, and it's a gift.
Oh, okay.
Itmar behach. And had the disagreement been stated only in the case that a man betrothed his sister, Bechach Kamar Shmuel. I might have thought that only in that case Shmuel says the money is a gift, since it's customary to give gifts to relatives. Aval Hacha Baha, but in this case, with the stolen property, Ema Modeh Le Rav. I might say Shmuel agrees with Rav. That is a deposit. Tzricha. Therefore, both are needed.
Okay. Good. So now the Gemara has explained why it is that we need both cases. Okay. Now the Gemara continues. Bein l'Rav. Don't worry, Phil. You got a big Rashi to read.
Now, when are you ready? Ready for it or not yet?
First, Lou's going to read the words that Rashi's talking about, and then you're going to read the Rashi.
Bein the Rav Damar Pikadon. Both according to Rav, who says it's a deposit. Bein l'Shmuel Damar Matana. And according to Shmuel, who says it's a gift. Hai le'ar'a b'mai ka nachos. How does the purchaser go down to work the land? U peros hache avil. Avil. How does he consume its produce?
Hehi ochil. V'maika nachis, Paris hehi ochil. Since the guy knows that he's not really buying the land because the guy that he's giving the money to doesn't own the land to sell to him. So he knows that he's got no right to go onto the land. So what's he doing? Going onto the land and making improvements on the land. Okay, that seems to be the Gemora's question. So this question really is a question according to both Rav and Shmuel. It's a question according to Rav, who said that in that case of the land, it's he's giving the money to the seller as a pikadon, and likewise to Shmuel, who says he's giving the money to the guy as a matana, doesn't expect to get it back. But either way, according to either one of them, they both are saying that he's going down to the land, and he's also working the land, and then he's eating the peros that he made on this land that he doesn't own. So Gemora wants to know how does Rav and Shmuel what's the reason that he can go and do that? Okay, so let's see how Rashi understands the Gemora's question.
Okay, where
This is Rashi Dibrimasto Bein Rav de Amar Chule.
Rather, it's Rav that says and so. Koloma Hechi Matsinen, how do you find to say Taima, the reason of Rav, Mishum the Gemar, that he completes it, that is Gemar, right? That he completes it, the Natan, and he gives Lishum Pikadon, he gives it for a deposit. But Taima the Shmuel, and the reason of Shmuel, Mishum the Gemar, that he completes it, but Natan Lishum Matan, and he's giving it as a gift. If he have a da'atya l'chad, if it is now to one of these, heichahu, how is it? Nichye lahai ara lauvda. How could he go down to the land to work it? Ulacho perotecha, and eat its produce. Al karcha, you're forced to say, savohi, that he holds, shehayamachar, that the seller, mecher kayam, the sale does work, it exists. Aloha yabaki, and he wasn't an expert, bedin, in knowing the laws. The taima, and the reason, the plukta, that the Rav Shmuel, that Shmuel and Rav argue, is ta'am achrina. It's a different reason. So there's another reason why they disagree.
Okay, so the Gemara is saying it can't be the reason is like Rav and Shmuel are saying. What we're disagreeing with that Rav and Shmuel ever said such a thing? Gemara says that's what they said. Sounds like the Gemara is saying, nah, can't be that that's what Rav and Shmuel said. Or maybe they said those words, but maybe we have a different way of explaining what they mean than what we think now. I don't know. It's a bit difficult to understand. Right? Because what are we saying? The Gemara is saying, 1 second over here. How can you say that this guy realizes that he's not making a kinyan in the property? if he realizes he's not making the kin in the property because the guy doesn't own the land to sell it to him altogether, so how come he's going down to the property and how come he's eating the peros? The Gemara, we thought, yeah, that's what he's paying him for to get off the land, and now he's gonna trespass on the land and he's gonna steal the land, so to speak, and eat the peros. That's what I thought. I don't know, but the Gemara says, oh no, that can't be. That person wouldn't do that. That's what it sounds like. The Gemara is saying, and if so, we got to come up with a whole different explanation. Rashi says, what do we got to say? We got to say that the guy actually thought that he bought the land. He knows that the guy doesn't own it. So how on earth could he think that he bought the land? I think that's a worse kasha than what the Gemara has. But Rashi says, yeah, he's ain't no bucky bedin. He's not proficient in the law. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know. But for some unknown reason to us, he thinks that he bought the land. And that's the only reason why he's going down to the land to work it, and he's gonna eat the peros that his fruits of his labor produce. And what do we do with the language of Rab and Shmuel? I don't know. Okay, let's see what the Gemara says after this.
Savar, he thinks, Ana achus le'ar'ah. I will go down to the land, ve'i avid ve'echol bigava, and I will work it and consume its produce in it. Ki heichi dehava ka avid ihu, just as the seller did until now. Lechi asay marei de'ar'ah. When the legitimate owner of the land arrives to claim his property, zuz a nahavu, my money will be lirav de'amar pikadon, either a deposit according to Rav, who says it is a deposit, ula Shmuel de'amar matana, or a gift according to Shmuel, who says it is a gift. Huh?
When the real owner of the land comes along, Zuzai Nahabu. Rav the Amar Pikadon, the Shmuel the Amar Matana. So how's this working? He's going. He figures he'll do what the seller did, just like the seller did. He was on the land, so I'm going on the land. That's what he's thinking. Doesn't seem to be like what Rashi said, but okay. And he also married the Ara. And when the owner does show up finally one day and kick me off the land, Zuzai Nahavu. The money that I gave will be the way Rav said that it's pikadon, or the way Shmuel said that it's a matana. That's that. So that we saved the machlokes of Rav and Shmuel. That's what they're saying. Okay, I don't know exactly what the Gemara has accomplished with all of this. We have any Rashi? Yeah, there's more Rashi over here. Kihechi dahavu ka'ovid ihu. Rashi is going on those words in the Gemora. Dahavu ovid.
That's one word.
The Goslin. Oh, like the Goslin did. Oh, now that sounds like what you were saying the other day, not like me. Rashi sounds like he's saying that the Goslin is the seller to this purchaser who knows that he doesn't own the land that he's selling. So it sounds like from Rashi that the seller also knows that he doesn't own the land according to that. Okay. All right. I don't know why he has to say that. I don't know what the difference would be. In any case. So on the next Rashi though.
I've got
I'm a pikadon. The deposit should be considered a deposit. Paloma say a liba de Rav, according to Rav, the Marshinin that explains the high name that he says, Amar Zuzi, there's some money that I'm giving, Nihe Pikadon, will become a Pikadon. Shmuel, he explains the Hava Amar that he'll say the Zuzi will be in Matana.
Okay. Fine. And now we want to know what the halacha is. Amar Rabba, Hilchasa.
Amar Rava, Chelkasa. Rava said the law is Yesh lo ma'os. The purchaser has the right to compensation from the seller for the money which he paid for the property. V'yesh lo shevach. And he has the right to compensation from the seller for his improvements to the field. Ba'af al pi shalo peirash lo es hashevach. And even though the seller did not explicitly state to him that he would compensate him for his improvements,
Afal Pisha lo Pirish lo es hashevach. Rashi, Hilchasa.
Okay, Hilchasa. The Hilchasa is, let me just see the Hilchasa. I saw that somewhere. Right after that, Hilchata, the Plukta, that there's a disagreement, Kayamat that exists, Yesh lo Mal, that he has the money, Yesh lo Shev, and there is the Sheva.
Okay, Plukta Kamaisa over here. In the first Machlokes, Rashi is referring to the Machlokes between Rav and Shmuel about the land, the sale of the land that he knows that the guy doesn't own the land that he's buying. In that Machlokes between Rav and Shmuel, Rav says the halacha is he's entitled to recover the most, and he's also entitled to recover the shevach. Now that's a hiddush. Rabbi says he's going to get the shevach also. So in that he's disagreeing with both Rav and Shmuel because neither one of them said he's entitled to the shevach. Okay, so Rav can say otherwise, and he's even saying that the halacha is like that. Okay, and this next statement that he says, "Aful pi shaloi pirish lo es hashevach."
Even though he didn't explain it, even though he didn't explicitly say it.
What's that, Rashi?
Leislo, and this is not according to Shmuel. tzrich limelech. The shevach does have to be mentioned according to Shmuel.
Uh-huh. In other words, Shmuel said he doesn't have to pay him the shevach unless he accepted that upon himself. Shevach sarik limlach. He's got to get the okay on that one. In other words, that's referring to the sofer that writes up the deal. He's got to get the okay from the seller that the seller makes himself responsible for to reimburse for the loss of shevach in the event that the property is taken away and there's a hefsid of shevach. Okay, so that's what Rava says. Okay, and that looks like that's it for today. Okay.
Have a great day.
Okay.
All the
Take
best.
care.
All the
Have a
best,
good
Lou.
day.
All the best, Phil.